Hello everybody, welcome back to another Minecraft Redstone video. Today I am showing you a tutorial on how to build a cool, infinitely expandable shop in a finite amount of space. So, Seth Bling, like a long time ago, posted a video on an infinite storage system with chest minecarts that all stack on the same one block spot. If you don't know about that, I recommend checking out his video. But I had the idea to turn his idea into a shop because it works very well. And this isn't his design, I did make my own. And this is what it looks like. I'm pretty sure it's more compact. I haven't actually compared it to his, but it works the same and it works for my purposes. So when there are a bunch of chest minecarts all stacked on the same block, you can tell because of the entity shadow is really dark. So there are a bunch of chest minecarts stacked in that one location, and this sorts it out. So basically how this works is that in the chest you would have your directory of items. So like if you want to buy redstone or iron blocks or whatever, these are just random prices. But basically you would throw the item out by pressing Q. I missed there. But by pressing Q, and then the machine starts. It starts by sorting out all the minecarts, then out comes a minecart. Obviously this would have the proper key code and the items in it, but that's just an example one. Then once they take their items out and pay, they would push the button and the minecart will go away. And this works 100% of the time through my testing. It works very well. And then as the shop owner who is building it, you would have this little downstairs area where you can just have some chests for storage for items. Then you have this little area here. So first off, you'd press the button to order up a minecart. This is that empty minecart that I had earlier. And then you would just restock it with the items, press the button, and it gets sent back into the system. Then to get off, then to get up, I just have a simple slime block launcher up because it looks cool. But yeah, so now I'm going to start the tutorial part of this. So from here, first off, you need to build your shop front to look something like this. So first off, the door for the entrance way has to be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 blocks long. Off to the side, 4 blocks, 2 blocks deep, and then another 6 blocks. Oh, and another important note is that I haven't actually built this in other directions, but I'm fairly certain it would be directional. So the doorway for the employee area has to face south, as you can see in my F3 screen. But yeah, so I'm not sure if it's directional, but just build it south to be safe. So yeah, you need to build something like this. So this is where the player would be grabbing the items, and this is where the chest would be. So to start off the whole machine, I would recommend placing the piston for the first block where most of the chests are going to be stored. So when you have this 2-gap hole, this is where your hoppers are going to be for picking up the item. Your chest would be here. So going off of this corner block here, go off 1, 2, 3, 4 blocks down, 3 blocks to the side counting this 3rd block, and then 3 blocks again counting the corner block, and then place the piston off of it going up. Then you need to place a slime block on top of that. Let me just get that quick. A slime block. And then you need terracotta surrounding it. Or glazed terracotta, sorry. And glazed terracotta goes on this side, up 1, and up again, so it's this odd shape like that. So now you have to, okay, so I am going to be doing a lot of back and forth just to make sure I count all this correctly. 1, 2, 3. Okay, so from your slime block on the northern side of it, so this side here, go up 3 blocks and place your piston there. And Yeah, so this is the part where the minecarts get shot up by the summon block and pushed over by the piston onto a track that is going to be here, so you can place those 3 blocks in now. And now it's time to build this lower area. So this is the clock circuit that will be powering the piston and the other thing. So first off, you need need to build a platform, something like that. Yes. Okay, so this is here. That's 4, 4. Okay. So 4, 4. Okay. So place your comparator there. Oh, this has to be slabs or stairs or any transparent block. That will be important later. So this all has to be redstone. Like that. Then that. This repeater is set to 4 ticks. Or 2 ticks, sorry, not 4. Oh, it is set up like that. Okay. So, block here and block here. This is the part that will be powering that up there. And then this here I have off a block. So you need this here, and then here you're just building a simple pulse extender, so this piston here doesn't just completely break itself. Okay, so next is going to be an observer tower off of that piece of redstone. 3 observers up, 2 observers and a note block. Note block. There are a lot of random items in here that are basically just used to keep this as compact as possible. Okay, so that powers that block. Then there's a repeater down there. Okay, so this powers a block into a repeater, redstone dust, there. So you build this thing here, and that is just to get the timings down, so when this clock down here is running, it is timing this piston to push over the minecarts once they get launched up. Okay, so next is going to be the redstone block, and this is the part that will actually be powering it. So here you need a sticky piston facing downwards into that redstone block, and this is just to start the clock and get it going. I think the best thing to do now is install the hopper chain. So first off, I would recommend putting your 2 hoppers in. Well, you need a hopper facing into a block right there. So first off, I would recommend placing this hopper facing into this block, because this is where it's being sorted into. Then that's, yep, just 2. Dropper. Okay, so now you need a dropper coming out of this. So I'm facing into it. So here you're just building a simple dropper vader, so just 2 droppers, a comparator facing out of the bottom one, have an observer, observer, observer. And that just simply moves the item upwards into this. Now you can place your observers for this side, all facing into each other, into the dropper vader. Okay, so now that is all set up. Okay, so need a block here and a comparator facing out of this hopper. So this detects when you have your key code thrown in here and tells the machine when to start the clock. So now you need a block, or the comparator facing into a block, then down 2 off of this bottom observer, you place 2 blocks and a block on top of the piston from earlier. Place a repeater facing into that block and some redstone dust. This is the part that when an item gets thrown into here, this clock should start moving, so that should fire up and this should fire as well. Okay. And next, okay. So next will be this circuit here. So place a redstone torch onto the side of this block. Go down 2. Place redstone dot. Piston facing up. This is just a simple monostable circuit. Run that into a repeater set to 3 ticks. And this should go right next to the redstone block. Have that face into a block. Redstone dust. Right? Yeah, redstone dust. Okay. Some dust. Torch. Block, block. Boom, boom. And is there any... Nope, no delay on that. Okay. So this part here, then you place a block that this repeater is facing into, a redstone torch on top of it. So this is the part that is changing the track here to sort out the correct minecart to make sure that you have it. I guess the tracks can go in now. So off of this here, you can place going up 2 blocks, 3, then here. This is where the minecarts are going to fall down, and this is where they are getting sorted out. Is that the correct positioning? Yes, it is. Yep. Okay. So, the rails. So for the rails, you need a powered rails going up here, normal rail, powered rail, powered rail. Okay, so this part is going to get a little complicated. Isn't supposed to turn like... Okay. So here you need the proper rail placement. Place a block on top of that torch. So here you need proper rail placement and directions. So what you need to do is, first off, just have these 2 rails. Connect them up so then the tracks are facing like that. Place this rail in, place this rail in, break that redstone dust and replace it in. And then this track should switch, so now it's facing this direction, and this ensures that the track is facing the correct direction. Okay, so now for powering these rails, this second block in, place a lever and power that. For here, you can just place a block here and power it. This, you need a lever on top and power it. This is to make sure that nothing else in the circuitry gets bud powered or anything. Then place another lever up here to power that. And a 4th lever up here to power this. This is the part where you restock the minecarts themselves. Okay, so next is the storage of the minecart. So, or the whole, return sequence thing of it. So first off, you need to put any blocks into these corners here, and place a sticky piston. Place a sticky piston here. Sorry, I'm breaking a lot of stuff. Okay, so place a sticky piston facing in this direction next to this block. And then off of here, place a normal piston like that. And this is where, when the minecarts fall down from up here, they can then get pushed over. So you do need a rail right here facing in this direction. So make sure that it is facing north and south, so that makes sure that the minecarts are facing the correct direction. Now you need, okay, so this is going to be important later, but place these 3 block here, here, and here next to the glazed terracotta to line that up correctly. place these 2 blocks going up, and then run redstone dust along them and up. Now you place a repeater, and that repeater is set to no delay, or 1 tick of delay, but that's default position. Run that into a sticky piston facing up with a block on top, and that into a comparator or a repeater set to 3 ticks, running into a block. And this is what powers the sticky piston. And then that, okay, so then an observer, so an observer into the sticky piston that detects when it is powered. Run that observer into a block, place a block out down here, repeater set to 2 ticks into a block. So this, like if you just place a lever there, if you flick it, it should have motion like that, so it'll move out, then back in, then that pushes it forward. Okay, so now you have the entire sorting part of it complete. Yeah, that should be, yep, so that's everything with the sorting of it. Okay, so next, what you need to do is this needs to be a detector rail. Sorry. So this powered rail here, replace that with a detector rail. And this just keeps the machine running to make sure that all the minecarts are in their proper position. Then place a block down there and redstone connecting that. Next, on a block next to this, place a repeater, set it to 3 ticks. Yep, 3 ticks. And this here is just a circuitry to, this is circuitry to make sure that everything lines up properly to, this observer thing here is to make sure that when you restock your minecarts, they get sent to the right position. So then you can place an observer facing into that. It's kind of awkward to place, but if you get at the right angle, you can place it off of that repeater right there. And this observer is just facing into a simple monostable circuit. So from here, that needs to be a detector rail. Underneath, put a redstone dot, build a monostable circuit, sticky piston facing up, a block, and then a repeater. It should fire a couple times, but it's fine. It will settle down. And you're good. Okay, so next, off of that same detector rail, you need to place a block on that, and a block down, and the, so this rail cannot be powered from the top like that. It needs to be powered from the side here. Okay, so the reason why this is all weirdly shaped and stuff is to make sure that when this line turns on, it doesn't power this at all, because then it will turn, and that would not be good. Needs to be able to link up with this when necessary. And this just changes the track, so when your minecart's coming up from the back, it'll go through, this will change the track, so the cart will go and stack with the rest of them. Okay, so that is all the sorting system done. And next, it is time to do the bottom shop area. So grab some rails again, place a rail there, and a rail there. And then you can just fill this in with iron blocks. Not that one. Fill this in with iron blocks because this is the part that the customer can see, and you don't really want that showing. Oh, you also need a block here to make sure minecarts get lined up properly when they fall down. Powered rail, normal rails, powered rail. This just makes sure everything gets lined up properly. You can grab a lever, just power that from the top. And here you can just have trapdoors in the front like I did over there to hide it, just to match your building design. I'm just using straight iron blocks because it's easy to work with and looks nice. But yeah, now here you need a button on the front panel on the side here, and this powers that. And this lines up with that redstone circuit that you have back here. So where this line is, break that block, it's where this is. Don't break that block actually, because that is where it is. So yeah, that is, so when you push this button to send the minecart away after the customer has paid, that resets the entire system. Okay, so this can all be blocks just to make it look nice. So when the customer is standing here, they don't see any of the ugly redstone. Okay, so next, this chute going down. That goes down to, okay. So off of these slabs here, place 2 blocks off of them, and then place 2 pistons. And these slabs are to make sure that that never gets bud powered. And then here, place a block, and you need some more terracotta, or glazed terracotta. Need some more glazed terracotta. Place that there, and that should be it for that. So now you can just grab a normal rail, place it like that. Now you need another sticky piston and a second slime block to go there. And now here you can just build a simple double piston extender, Vortex, 2 ticks, 0, so that should push it out and then retract it just like that. Place a redstone torch on the side, some redstone dust, a piston facing into the floor like that, a block on top, a repeater coming out of it set to 2 ticks. Yep, 2 ticks, 2 ticks on the side here into a block, and this can just get run up the side like this, so curve it around, up one more. Careful about doing that. Just reset that if that happens. It's fine if it does. And then that. Place a repeater. So it's set to 2 ticks. Yep, set to 2 ticks. Running up like that. And then into a normal piston facing like that. So now you can place a block here, and this is where the shopkeeper yourself is going to be standing to restock it. Do what you want with your aesthetics or whatever, however you want to design this. It's up to you. Just gonna slap down a couple of blocks like this. But then make sure that when you place your rails in, that's a normal rail. Or that's a powered rail, normal rail, then a powered rail running up the side. And then here it lines up perfectly, so if you then place your blocks going up and one short, like this, if I can do this correctly, place them up, so then they connect up with this block right here. So it should just be straight 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 down, 1 over. Then you can just connect these up with rails. Boom. And then these rails you can just power wherever, it doesn't really matter. But this here has to be another button. Grab one of those. Then out the back here, need redstone facing like that. 2 of it, or 2 redstone, then a block. block off to the side, repeater, 2 ticks, facing into a block, redstone on the other side, and then just connect this up with redstone. So now whenever you push this button to send off the other minecart, it'll send off the other minecart and then send one up for you to refill. And then, yeah, you can just cover this up with whatever as your downstairs area. Okay, so here is... Okay, so now the actual shop itself should be done. Make sure I have everything. Have all that down there. Have all this off to the side. Yep. So that is it for that otherwise. Here I'm just going to build a simple player launcher thing because why not? It looks cool. So for your employee area, you can just build something like this. So you're able to do that, and here you can just have a bunch of blocks leading up to keep yourself in place. And here you can stack it along the side. It does get a bit dark in here, so what I recommend doing is have like a sea lantern or glowstone or something that lights up back there, so then lights up the entire area. Not going to really bother with the roof. Then you can also put your chests on top of it for storage, so you can store what you want to sell down here. Back to the player launcher. If you grab a button, if I can successfully grab a button, and then place that onto the side, run block there, there, and there. So redstone, redstone, redstone. Repeater. I recommend that repeater because that adds delay so it doesn't like glitch out on you or anything when it's launching up. You also need the repeater there so when you have your glazed terracotta, I recommend putting glazed terracotta underneath so it looks a little nicer so you don't have redstone showing, but if you're fine with that, you can just do that. And yep, you can just push the button and it launches you straight out. So that should be the entire system complete then. But there are a bunch of important notes, so do not click off of the video, it will break otherwise. So, a bunch of the important notes. When you grab your chest minecarts, it's fine to load it in from the back here. You can just cover up the redstone there. So, when you're in your back area here, for your first 5 minecarts, they have to be full of, for the first 5 minecarts have to be in place, otherwise the system will break. So I would also recommend having anvils in the corner here because you will need to rename a bunch of items. So once you have this, I recommend just do not remove items. I do have a texture pack on that darkens my GUIs. So I'm using black glass, but black glass panes work well for this as well in normal mode, or with a normal GUI. But that's just for design. You can use any type of block, but basically the chests have to be full, otherwise this would not work properly, and you do need 5 of them. So 5 full minecarts that are just full of any item that will not get thrown in there by accident, because then the entire system will break and things will not be fun. I'm pretty sure that's 5. So now that the minecarts should all be sitting there. So, well, I'm just going to add one more for good luck. So once you have your 5 items in place, you can now add your first stock to the system. So first off, with your minecart, I would recommend these key cards with the name of the item and your price. So here I have iron block for 8 diamonds. Oh, I have 2 S's. Whoops. Then redstone for 4 diamonds. So I'll do an iron block one. So put the iron block key card anywhere in the chest, doesn't really matter where. Top left corner looks the nicest. And then just put in however much stock you want. So I'm just doing this, then I'll fill in the side. So this is the way I would typically structure it. So you would have your key card in the top, then however many spacings on the side you want, then your product in the middle for them or for the customer to buy. Then you push the button to send it on its way. And I will just do 2 of these. Oh, also a important note to help you keep inventory. When you're doing this, you need to remember how many minecarts you have, because you don't want to display the wrong amount of stock, because that would be bad, because then your system will start running without anything in it, and that wouldn't be good. So anytime you put a key card into the chest, click it in, and then click a second key card somewhere else so you can keep track. So right now I would have 2 in the system. So I fill in the glass, fill in the items, then the glass on the side. So now I have 2 iron minecarts in there, and I will do 3 redstone minecarts. And 3. Okay, so next is the also most important part that most people will forget about with this system, but it is the most important part. I would also recommend leaving a sign for yourself down in the basement. So basically the most important part is to push the button. So pushing the button is the most important part of doing this, because otherwise the system will not work correctly. So then when you go back up to the top, all the minecarts that you put in should be resting on the track there. You have to push this button to make sure that all the chests are in the proper location. So anytime you add stock, so anytime you add a new chest, I'll just put in a blank chest right now. Make sure it's full of items. So anytime you add a chest in, it goes off. It sorts all the minecarts in, so then they're all stacked properly. And once that's done, and make sure that is finished before you push the button. If you do have a lot of stock, you will probably run into issues like that. But as long as you just wait for the system to stop doing anything before your next input, you should be fine. But adding chests shouldn't really matter, because you can add those pretty fast once the items are already stacked. So make sure that you press the button afterwards to reset the minecarts. Okay, so now you are ready to put your stock into the chest. You can also have multiple layers of chests if you have more stock, but otherwise you can keep track of here. So currently I have 3 minecarts of redstone, 2 minecarts of iron. So you can also cover up this hopper area with carpet. So I will do that as well. Okay, so you can just cover up with carpet to make it look nicer. You can also add more hoppers in case you think 2 isn't enough to just expand it, but I think 2 is good. So then basically how you would then operate this, you can leave signs to tell people. So you'd open up the chest, they will select the item they want and press Q. It will sometimes get stuck on there, but that's whatever. So then it gets thrown in. You can hear the pistons doing their thing, sorting it out. Here comes one minecart with my keycard in it and all the redstone dust. So then the person will take out all the redstone dust, take it all out that they paid for. Let's see, it was 4 diamonds. So diamonds. Boom. 1, 2, 3, 4. 4 diamonds are paid, and push the button. Sends the minecart down. Resets the system so the minecarts are back in place for when they need to be. Then let's say they're working on a redstone project with all that redstone and they need some scaffolding blocks. Press Q on the iron and it sorts through all the minecarts and it brings out the iron minecart full of all the iron blocks. They will take it out, pay for it, push the button as well. And also, if they order the wrong thing on accident, like they push Q on the wrong block, it will be like kind of a waste of stock, but they'll just be able to push the button and order a new one. Another important note is you can only have one item ordering at a time, so you can only throw one item in, take the stock, then you can throw another item in. That is very important. Do not throw more than one item into the hopper. Otherwise, the system will break. Okay, so now let's say they have done, or the customer has finished ordering, and you come by a little while later and need to restock. So first off, you'd come down here, push the button to check, and hey, a minecart came. So this is iron block. This is an iron block minecart, so you can take it out, and then everything would already be set up. Obviously, I didn't take any of the stock out, so you can just take the card out, push the button, and that will get restocked. Now the next minecart, redstone, so you can see up here, oh, the redstone cart's out. Take the diamonds out, turn, grab your redstone, fill it back into the cart. I'm just gonna use this because whatever. Then, hey, it's restocked, push the button. Nope, nothing else came up. So that means that the stock is full. You can put the stock back into the chest. And remember, once you restock, push the button. And the minecarts are in their position. It's fine if they get like a little skew like that. It doesn't really matter, that's just a weird visual glitch. But yeah, otherwise this is working. So yep, just throw an iron block in there, sorts it out, Here it comes, iron minecart, everything's good. So yeah, that is how this system works. This is a little bit long of a tutorial video, but it's for a very good reason, and it's a rather big redstone machine as well. So I would like to thank all of you for watching. I hope this helped you in any way if you are building a shop yourself, but otherwise I would like to thank all of you for watching, and I will see you all in the next episode.